दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ ಚೆನ್ನೈ
Hyderabad Express, University Station, Netaji Bhavan.
The Lucknow openers took off smoothly, then there was a whole lot of turbulence, but they still landed with 203 in their 20 overs. Hello and welcome back to Voltas. FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami, Kher. I've got Joyda and Lisa. 100 in the first 10, 103 in the next 10. Would Lucknow have liked at least 20 more?
Oh, they'll always say they want more, right? But they've done it without Nicholas Pooran really being on the scorecard. So the fact that Mitch Marsh went well, Aiden Markram, who'd been quiet, listened to Joy and said, "Oh, I'll show you. I can score runs in the IPL."
You had to say that, didn't you? You had to say that.
And then Ayush Badoni kind
And
of
Mitch
coming
Marsh heard all of us because he had to fix that stat. So
Yeah.
he was listening. They were listening to us.
They are listening.
But Joyda, you know, there's Lucknow's bowling where they've said that they would like to cushion themselves with 20 runs more than what they would usually get, which is why I asked, would they have liked those 20 runs more?
No, it's a strange total. It's a kind of total which I don't think Mumbai is happy chasing that many, nor are these guys saying that, okay, we've got to really... It's somewhere in between, and both thought they had chances to pull it back. Mumbai had a chance to pull it back, get a few wickets, and I think they allowed Ayush Badoni to get away with it. That Santner over. And I think on the other side as well, I think there were opportunities for them to step on the gas before. So somewhere neither team goes completely satisfied, but I think it makes for a very intriguing game because the game is right there in the middle. Nobody seemed to have a huge advantage.
And what are we making of this pitch? Is it that slow pitch that Rishabh Pant wanted, or is it because it looked like it was coming on the bat?
No, I think given the situation of 100 in the first, Nicholas Pooran, how he got out, so that kind of stuck in, and the pace was taken off, I get that. But still, he didn't pick it up. So it gives you maybe toothpaste, as we all like to say. But having been there about a month ago, there was a heap of dew. And then you look at the back end and how quickly they scored, and even David Miller, 27 off 14. So it's coming onto the bat nicely. So maybe some of the dew is set now. So that means maybe they do want that extra 20 because it's going to be a lot easier to bat in the second innings.
Well, this is the only second 200-plus score in Lucknow. So clearly this has been a high-scoring game and it has helped the batters. So I'm not too sure if Zach or Rishabh Pant will be very happy.
Yeah, I think that's the point. And because if the dew plays a huge factor, then you're in real trouble because Lucknow dew is heavy dew. It's not light dew, okay? And it doesn't dissipate fast. So it's going to be a real problem because their attack now, you've got Akashdeep just back after a long time. Your spinners are also a little bit faster.
Yes.
I mean, they're not... I mean, if you see Vignesh really, what I loved about him is that he bowled it slow enough to be able to get grip. And now if you... A, your bowlers are faster. B, there's dew on the pitch. I think this is Mumbai's to... If they play to their potential, it's Mumbai's to lose.
Well, the positives for Lucknow, though, are those openers because we had spoken about Markram and we said he has to get things firing up this IPL, and he sure did. Listen, 53 of 38. Mitch Marsh, 60 of 31. He was hitting them big, Lisa, today. We know how he's such a big hitter. Unfortunate for them that Nicholas Pooran got out on 12 because he's always such a delight to watch. But then again, David Miller and Ayush Badoni getting those runs for them towards the end.
Yeah, really important that middle order, which we had a few question marks over, were able to kind of show their wear and what they can do and how explosive they can be. So when you kind of add the top and you add the end, that's great. Now they just need the middle, and I'm kind of looking at Rishabh to be able to kind of really fire. Once he starts going, then they look a really dangerous side.
I have one observation to make. Just look at that scorecard once again. Okay, who's opening? There's Mitch Marsh and Markram. Okay, Mitch Marsh has played how many balls? He's played 31 balls. Markram has played just 7 more balls. When does Markram get out? Markram gets out on the 5th ball of the 18th over. He bats till the 18th over. And I think that's one of the things they look at and say that if he's been around for that long, I think he should have taken a little bit more of this. I think the attacking was always done at the other end. He was not the one attacking. I mean, so what has happened is that he, therefore, though he's been there till the 18th over, he's got very little of the strike, which is what you don't normally see. Normally, when you see a guy batting deep, he'll be dominating 55-60% strike. Here, this guy's strike rate is, I mean, he's taking only 34-35% of the balls. And that's interesting because that means that somewhere he was content to let the match take its course and didn't catch it by the scruff of its neck and try and do it that, okay, now I'm set, I'm going to change things now.
I like the power play score, was it? 69 for no loss?
Yeah.
Mitch Marsh 60 off 30,
Yeah.
and Markram 7 off 6.
Yeah.
Hey, excellent partnership batting, right? Mate, you go. You're hitting the ball well. But you're right. And this is something that you tend to notice, like new batters coming in then hog the strike when actually they need to give it to the set batter.
Give it back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and get set yourself because clearly the set batter was doing even better today like yesterday.
Yeah.
But that partnership, Lisa, 76 of 42. You gave that interesting stat of the first 6 overs though, but Markram 14 of 11 in that partnership. Was very happy to just watch Mitch Marsh hit it out of the park.
And it makes sense. My point is now when you're the set batter, and you should be maybe even having a conversation and saying that after Nicky's gone, saying that, okay, let's get it back. I'm going to go after this guy. You attack the other guy. So there has to be some conversation there. And I think what instead happened was Markram was in that mode where he's saying, I haven't done too well in this tournament, as we spoke about. Perhaps let me just get a 50. Let me settle myself in. And,
even the push down the ground for the 50 instead of... going, hang on, that's in my zone. I'm going to put it out of the park. I was like, nah, let me get set. And let's see if this unleashes him, right? Maybe he just needed that. And he knows full well that, okay, now I'm setting myself up for the rest of the tournament. Remember, it's not how well you play at the start, it's how well you play at the end in the crucial time. So let's give him a few more games and see if this has really set him up for the IPL now.
And it's also something that you said in the pre-match when you were coaching both of us and you said your role could be 9-ball 40 and his role, because he's more experienced and he's been around so much longer, his role could be to take his time in. So we saw Marsh taking that role up, that he was attacking from the word go. 193, that strike rate is quite something when you start off.
No, he's such a destructive batter. I mean, when he stands up tall and he just hits it down the ground, he's so strong, so powerful. Pace, you can bowl anywhere at him. He can flick it off his legs. He has all the strokes and he looks really good doing it. It's really scared. I mean, he's the kind of guy who Matthew Hayden used to be at his peak,
Big chest
big, intimidating presences, you don't know where to bowl, you can't see the stumps. They take all the stumps, they're really intimidating to bowl at. And I think that's what he gives them. He gets them a lot of intimidation power up front. And today you saw him doing what he does well. And I'm glad because this, again, IPL, he's given us flashes, but he's never shown the international Mitch Marsh to us for a concerted period of time. So I'm really glad. That was an innings worth watching.
He definitely was very intimidating, but for MI's sake, they'd be happy that Nicholas Pooran wasn't intimidating today because of what Hardik did. He's picked up 5 wickets, but that crucial wicket of Nicholas Pooran, Lisa, you were talking about that slower one, but just Mumbai bowling today, slower ones, 5 wickets, 21 of 15 balls, out of which 4 for 15 of 11 were off cutters. So other deliveries, 2 for 98 of 57 balls. So we saw them really slowing things up today, which clearly seems to be working on this pitch.
Yeah, and I think also bowling that right length as well. I mean, there's no point bowling a slower ball in the slot.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's going to go anyway, right? But I thought they got their lengths right. And Hardik's the type of guy, just walks around, comes around and just runs in. Where's my mark? I don't know. And I'll just, he's nodding and moving the field as he's coming in and bowling. So, but he has a great awareness and understanding of the game and how to deliver on the stage. And his bowling, and I mentioned it in the pre-show, his bowling's been so good. And he's backed it up again when his teams needed him the most. He gets the big prize wicket.
And also his best figures in T20 cricket. So what more can he ask for?
No, I thought he was fantastic. And especially, as you were absolutely right, his use of the slower ball, his use of the width and his slower ball, also his use. Hardik always tends to pick up wicket with the shorter delivery. He has a tendency to. He does it with the faster one as well, where he gets those edges. But even with the slower one, they're trying to hit him away and his ball's just not coming on. He gets a lot of wickets like that. And I think he took responsibility. You see it. You have a situation where Trent Bolt has not finished his overs. But Hardik Pandya has finished his overs. And I think that tells you about, what happened out here. Deepak Chahar hasn't finished his overs. And I think that tells you about the kind of dominating role that Hardik played today. I think he was the pick of the bowlers. I thought Vignesh Puthur bowled very well as well. But Hardik was definitely the pick of the bowlers.
No, just a word on that youngster because he's just been so impressive again on the big stage to come and once again do what he's been doing. Again, very sensible bowling. The lengths he was bowling were very sensible. You were very impressed with the speed he was bowling at as well, slowing it up.
Which is what we're kind of, a lot of us are talking about. T20 cricket, and especially wrist spinners, you see them kind of fire it out the front. And, you've had Rashid Khan, 90s, sometimes even in the hundreds bowling, right? But maybe this is the traditionalists and the purists in us. You don't mind someone willing to actually spin it up a little bit and put some revs on it. And because of that, he's beating players. In India, you can beat players off the pitch. In Australia, you have to beat them in the air. So there's that balance of understanding, and I think he's got it. Like to be able to back up that performance when you look at everyone else's how many runs they were leaking per over. He's pretty good, and he takes Mitch Marsh, who was 60 off, striking at nearly 200, and he takes that key wicket. So good on him.
Yeah, I mean, in that over, that's it. The pressure that he built. He got hit for a 6, but he built a certain amount of pressure on Marsh.
3 dots.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. And I think I loved watching him bowl. On the other hand, if you look at it, similarly, on the other side, you had Santner, and I thought Santner bowled too slowly because Dhoni could just sit back and manipulate the field. And I think Santner will be disappointed because I think this is the kind of pitch where he should have done better. And I think he's just not done enough. I mean, I thought the inexperienced bowler did really well. Ashwini Kumar, of course, was the other person, went for 4 in the first over, going very well, and then he gets smashed for 23 in the next, which happens. I mean, exactly, you're playing top-level international talent, it's going to happen to you.
Well, moving from one youngster, I'm going to give you all news on one evergreen youngster from Chennai. There has been a little bit of news in Chennai that Captain Ruturaj Gaikwad is injured. He's got his elbow hurt. And this is what Mike Hussey had to say. I don't think we've thought about that being captaincy too much. Well, I haven't thought about it too much. I'm sure Fleming and Ruturaj have thought about that. But we've got some young guy coming through. He's behind the stumps. Maybe he can do a good job. Guys, if this happens...
But he hasn't thought a lot about it.
It's all mysterious. We don't know who this youngster is who has this experience, who's pretty good at his job. But if it does happen and this youngster comes out and captains one more time, what can we expect tomorrow?
But my point is that if you see him while in the field, he's still captaining as much. He's still moving the field around. He's still manipulating the positions just as much. And I think because you'll see Ruturaj almost on a regular basis, once, the 16th, Chennai is not the fastest of sides in the field. So Ruturaj is one of the fitter fielders, so he goes right out to the boundary. And at that point, you literally see a lot of the field positioning happening from this youngster behind the stumps. So it's not that he doesn't do a lot of it. Yes. He still does it. I think it's just that it's an interesting one because what happens is if Ruturaj is not there, who do you give it to now? And there's a reason for that. You can't, your logical choice is Jadeja.
But he didn't enjoy doing it.
Yeah, he didn't enjoy doing it. And for him, again, from being a captain to being a vice captain, is that something he really wants to be a stand-in captain again?
Yeah. Will Ashwin put his hand up?
Huh?
Will Ashwin put his hand up?
Actually, that's a good shout.
Ashwin can put his hand up,
yeah. He might do it.
I mean, and I would love it because Ashwin is, what he did with Chennai in those first 2-3 seasons. For him to captain even one match in his maybe farewell season, who knows how long he'll play, I think it'll be fantastic. But this man coming back...
On just the toss, that noise level, Lisa, I think we'll already go deaf just imagining that noise decibel.
Yeah, no, I can hear it already, just him walking out on the pitch just to warm up and then to actually walk out in the actual playing kit for the toss. And if he wins the toss as well, good luck to any... any of us understanding what they're going to do, right?
Yeah, because you're not going to.
Or maybe they'll field because that's what they all do. But it's going to be next level.
Yeah, well, it's just this guessing that we are going to keep doing up until tomorrow, but we'll get back to what we do here with the guessing game because we struggled. We really struggled. You were close, Lisa. So maybe you go first.
I am going to go 57.
Okay.
I'm just going to pick it 63.
I'll try that as well. But Will Jacks and Rickleton, I'll go 69. Higher.
It's a good number.
200 to chase.
Yeah, 69 is always a good number.
Okay.
Works, I
Why
think.
is it a good number?
Because it's reflective, 6.
Acha.
All right, then we'll find out and see if any of us get close to our numbers. Thank you so much for watching. Voltas Fresh Air Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. We will see you all at the 10 over point at the Cricbuzz com box.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Express, Varanasi Station, Netaji Bhavan.